next session dives into the intersection of marketing and technology, where creativity meets analytics. Cracking the modern marketer's codes, AI, data, and automation magic. So to begin with, I would like to call my first presenter and speaker. We honor to have such a visionary entrepreneur and pioneer in Pakistan digital landscape. He is a founder of Sofizar, one of the Pakistan's earliest internet marketing success stories and driving force behind Turkestan Technologies, an AI-powered logistic company. So give him a big round of applause, and I would like to call Mr. Zafar Khan to share his insight on AI and marketing, the new reality. Welcome, sir.
So I'll start with a story over here. Okay? I came, I was flattered by the fact that I was invited. I was very honored a few years ago when I came and presented at MAP. And it was kind of a provocative topic. Okay? I said, well, how do you make $100,000 in revenue every day using marketing, right? So it was kind of provocative, it was kind of fun. And I said, you don't really need like thousands of people and this and that, but with just the fact that the world markets are so big, if you take a very tiny portion of that and you market certain things, and then I got into lots of ideas and so on and so forth, and it was fun. It was meant to be something practical as well, that you can actually apply some of those techniques. I think 8-10 years have gone by since then, and alhamdulillah, it's been very good for me. But I considered retiring, and I'm like, okay, yaar, bada maza aaya, and it has been good time and everything, but a lot of things have changed since then. So the whole concept of retirement, whatever, seems a little bit out of touch with the huge interesting things that are happening over here. Okay, so let's start with kind of an agenda of what we were going to do over here. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the journey a little bit and how the AI turns message per segment to segment per message. So as marketers, we always think in terms of segments. Okay, Pakistan maybe, when we are marketing, you say, ye SEC A ko bechna hai, this is for the rich people, this brand is for the SEC B, and this is for the SEC PC, and so on and so forth. There's segments, right? So we always, as marketers, think in terms of what is the messaging or the product we have for the segment versus I have this thing, what is the segment for it? And that's a much harder thing to do, but I'll show you how AI can allow you to do that. And then I'm going to talk about the framework. Okay, in the AI marketing, what is the framework? What are the things that you're supposed to do over and over to improve the message? And then I'm going to talk about a case study. Case studies are always fun, and I have a case study. We're not going to talk about selling some SaaS software as a service in some crazy market, in very niche market. It's something that hopefully everyone can identify with, so to speak. All right, so yeah, provocative topic, $100,000 a day. How do you do that? Well, no, I want to now talk about individually talk to 100,000 people a day. How do I do that? That is a much harder task. When you're talking about, or 1 million people a day, how do I individually talk to 1 million people a day? Har ek ki apni baat karni hai, right? And then, and so I see if, by the way, all the pictures over here are AI generated, and I did that on purpose. Also, for two reasons. One is because it's about AI and marketing, and creating creatives quickly is part of AI, but also it's also very easy for me. It takes a lot less effort. So when I was making this presentation yesterday morning, I was like quickly generating all of these things. So you see me kind of in this picture, and when you create these pictures, you just say, okay, I want to be standing here, considering retirement versus a very high-tech life, and that's it. I give it to the Imagine or one of these Mid-Journey, whatever, and it'll just create this picture for me, right? So on my left is a farm and fields and so on and so forth. The right side is high-tech and all that, and I'm trying to decide, should I retire or should I go this way? All right. So, and as far as why is AI so interesting? Because, you know, when electricity came out a couple of 100 years ago, it was powering machines. Internet was powering, so to speak, information flow. But AI allows you to power decisions. How do you do decisions very quickly and very accurately? So instead of retiring, I decided to do other things. All right, so here we are going to talk about the segmentation. Again, the picture generated by AI. I didn't want to use any brand names, so I said no brand names. Give me a message. So Coca-Cola, general Coca-Cola would be, when you're marketing that, you say, well, Coke is good and so on and so forth. You kind of have the same message for everyone. There is not really that much segmentation. It's like practically the same product. Of course, there's Cherry Coke and Diet Coke and blah, 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 and the black bottle Coke or whatever it is, but ultimately it's just not that segmented. And then when you do segmented marketing, and then you're selling Umang to this one and Tarang to this one and Allpers to that one and so on and so forth. So you're targeting certain segments and so on and so forth. And generally you get bigger and bigger, finer and finer segments. अगर आपने वाकई किसी को कोई चीज़ बेचनी है, तो you say, okay, I want to go and target it, but there is a big cost to targeting a smaller segment, right? And what if you had a segment of one? There is only one person that you sell to, but you have millions of people, but you have, let's say you have 1 million people in the country and you have 1 million segments. And you are able to talk to that one person specifically without giving them irrelevant things, right? That would be a segment of one. So that is what I want to show. Okay, AI say you can have a segment of one, which is possible. Now I want to start with an example of this kind of thing that is being done in, not quite in product marketing, but let's say in politics. When you are trying to sell your idea, कि भाई choose Modi or Donald Trump or whoever, you are actually figuring out, and there has been many stories in Cambridge Analytica about how your Facebook likes of individual people was able to tell what exactly is this person really thinking, and from those likes you are able to find about, if you have like their data for, let's say, 10 likes, they know better than their colleagues, and if they have data from 100 likes, they know more about that person than their own wife does, and whatever 200 likes, they know better than what the person himself thinks about himself. So So it's incredibly powerful, and that allows you to create micro segment. So even when you are having politics of hate like Modi or Donald Trump or whatever it is, you are able to tell this person, talk to him about immigration, this person talk about how Muslims are bad, this person talk about such and such thing, this person negative things, positive things, these are the for this person, and it's one person at a time that you bring to the vote, right? So that is the power that of multi specific segmenting to segment of one that you can apply, and this is not being done yet enough in the products marketing space, and which is I think the next opportunity. And by the way, Cambridge Analytica did all of this stuff in 2016 elections about 8-9 years ago. Since then AI has really improved, which where you really can micro target it. Okay, all right, so let's move on. Okay, so when you are in the practical field of marketing, when you are actually, you have to have a create a campaign, a message. The beauty is this has become very cheap. Even this photograph right here is again auto-generated. It's a very creative. It takes me about 10-15 seconds to generate a very relevant image. I don't have to search through Google, and I don't have to worry about copyrights every time a new image comes out which is relevant. But obviously this is applicable in not only in the photographs but also in creatives, in messages. And the second thing is that you can create lots of messages and have the people and see which of these people, especially it applies in the digital marketing space, which of these people resonate with which kind of audience, and then you can keep tweaking it and keep improving it. And this is something that was impossible 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. So this allows you to really increase your footprint and target the person and get the response. And now I don't want to talk about even segments. I will talk about person, because you really have the ability to target one specific person. Acha ji. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So this is the framework. So I want to get a little bit technical. I hope it's not boring, but where you start with create, launch. So you create something, you launch it, you learn from it, and you get some insight, and then you again create it. And this is something that can be automated. Back in the day, maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when I sold my company, my previous company in 2017, so it used to take days and weeks to get these things right. Content right, aapne content likhna hai, you have a team of 100 people who is writing content, and you have deadlines and this and that, and now all of that thing has gone away. It has become so easy. I know that for that particular company, they have, I believe, just a 1/2 part-time resource or 1 full-time resource instead of a team of 100 people doing the content. It's just one person doing it. It's just become so efficient. That person also does not click and put queries and so all of that is through APIs automated. That person is just to see, is everything okay? It's just a supervisory role, right? So and then the ability for you to see how effective it is, it's very fast. Which person is being triggered by which you get very good insights on that. And then learning from that, you can apply that and say, okay, really we need to change it this way because this is the only thing that's working really well. And then you create again, and it goes on and on. And yeah, we talked about this. Again, you are creating, let's say, a newspaper. You probably see that in the newspaper. If you read, even in New York Times or even Dawn, the same news story has multiple headlines. Sometimes the headlines say something else, and another time it says something else, and then every time it says something different, and all they're doing is checking the clicks. Okay, all right. So basically, launch is fast, and I'm not gonna. And learn, again, there's noise and you get signal out of it. And so this is kind of the theoretical framework. I want to talk about something practical. And there's the insight. All right, I'm going to talk about something very practical now, okay? So there's this farm which has all of these multiple activities, horse riding and polo and boating and this and kids stuff. And it has 100,000 people have exchanged messages with the management of this farm. And usually what they do is they put out ads on Facebook and Instagram. People come in, they enjoy these activities, they leave happy, everyone's happy, and so on and so forth. But and the way they do that, share creatives, is they share photographs of past visits. Everything works fine, but in reality, what's happening is that it's a huge missed opportunity, because they have 100,000 people that have used all of these facilities, but they're never targeted. They don't even know, okay, bhai, fala person wanted this and another person wanted that, and most likely the people who want this and that, who want grape picking, they may be good for strawberry picking when there's strawberry season. No one cares, no one knows, right? So because it's impossible, how can you, even when you have millions of customers in a big business or tens of millions of customers, there's no way you can have individual way of targeting those people, right? But this farm, these people, they cannot possibly use that. So they just put out more ads, more people come in, they're happy, it's profitable, everyone's happy. But all this valuable stuff is not being used. So I call that hunting. You're just putting out ads over and over again, right? So instead of that, what you should be doing is farming. You have all of these things, and if you're able to get insights and say, well, Zubair wanted this and Kaleem wanted that and Falah wanted this, and I have this thing, instead of targeting all 100,000 who will say, why the hell did I get a WhatsApp ad on my message on my thing, only target the 300 people who are very, very relevant for that particular activity. And you will get an amazing response rate from that, rather than having 100,000 messages so people even stop looking at the messages. Just target the specific people, and I'm talking about one at a time. And अगर किसी ने आपको उर्दू में वॉइस नोट छोड़ा है, तो आपको जवाब जो इसका जो मैसेज आएगा वो वॉइस नोट में ही आएगा, उर्दू में आएगा, और आपके जो मैनेजर है उसकी क्लोन्ड आवाज़ में आएगा, राइट? दैट इज़, अगर आपने रोमनाइज्ड इंग्लिश में मैसेज लिखा है, उर्दू में मैसेज लिखा है मगर इंग्लिश में टाइप करके लिखा है, तो वो आपको उसी स्टाइल में आएगा, और आपको मैसेज वही होगा कि जी फलां दिन स्ट्रॉबेरी पिकिंग है, बट इट इज़ टारगेट, मगर किसी और जिसको और आप टारगेट कर रहे हैं उसको इंग्लिश में आएगा, बिकॉज दे पर्सन कम्युनिकेटेड इन इंग्लिश, दैट काइंड ऑफ थिंग. ओके, so you are able to have a segment of one, you can maintain relationship with all of them, and this was never possible even 3 years ago or 2 years ago. So this is the interesting thing about that, and this is an example. You have literally the whole WhatsApp thing is in the app. You have something that we have such and such new facility. You write it to whatever your 4,000 people. You know this person has all of these attributes. He spent 107,000 rupees with you. He has got these are the activities they've done. This is the reason why he's getting that particular message. And all of these messages, so amazing response rate, not possible before AI, with possible, very much possible with AI. So yeah, and all right. So this is clicker is not working, but okay, yeah. So it's a little bit about my company. And question: was this slide? All of this, was it auto-generated, or did I do it by hand? Okay, good. Yeah, both. I put in some thoughts. It was able to do it very efficiently. I did procrastinate a lot. I could have probably should have done this slideshow earlier. But मैंने कहा यार AI है. I have my thoughts together. I can just do it in 90 minutes. And it took me about 90 minutes to generate all of this. It would have taken me a lot longer 3 years ago. But fortunately, we are living in the age of AI. So yeah, both. Both is the right answer. Do you guys have any questions?
Question, please.
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Very nice presentation, very compact and meaningful. Thank you very much. Where you see AI now, and AI turning businesses into reality. So, what do you think? What will happen to the manpower? If you don't need staff, if you fire 100,000 people and just let the computer do the thing, where will the manpower go? We are producing billions children a year, so where will they go?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I can tell you that there are massive governments and people who are trying to answer this question. Okay, maybe we will have more leisure, maybe we have more free time eventually. But I can tell you, I have many ways to answer that question. Okay, let me do it in a bit provocative way. कि पहले हम कहते हैं कि आपने जी अगर आपने $1 million बनाने हैं तो आपको या $10 million बनाने हैं एनुअली का रेवेन्यू लाना है तो you need at least 200 people. What if you can do it with 20 people? So मेरे ख्याल में what it does is that it आपकी productivity बहुत बढ़ जाती है. So yeah, people really you do need less people. मगर so there is talk of universal basic income के आप बजाय हफ्ते में 40 घंटे या 50 घंटे काम करें, you work for only 10 hours और but you make so much more money. और या ये कि कुछ लोग बहुत ज़्यादा काम कर रहे होंगे और बाकी उनको there is so much tax revenue के हर एक को कम से कम खाने पीने को मिल जाएगा. Because I'm just talking about marketing part of it, but there is abundance in agriculture that is around the horizon. Thanks to AI, agriculture will increase, machines will produce. So maybe we will just have a lot more free time, but there will be enough abundance के हर कोई खा पी सकेगा, agriculture की वजह से हर कोई अच्छी ज़िंदगी गुजार सकेगा. So I don't really know the answer, but it's a great question to ask. Any other question?
Any other question, please?
Can I have an question? Can I ask a question? I just wanted to ask about we are working on AI, so why don't we look forward for AR, the augmented reality? How do you think that this AI can convert better options with artificial augmented reality? The second question is not a question, but the thing is that first of all, we need to go into digitalization. Unless our organizations or our companies are not digitalized, how AI can be helpful with us unless we are still on the papers, not on the digitalization process?
Ji, so let me answer the second question first. a very interesting example is the experience of Africa and telephony. As you know, and also to some extent in Pakistan as well, by the way, by the time those landline phones came to every village in Pakistan, which was the case in the US, ke har ek ke paas what they call POTS, plain old telephone service, हर एक के घर में एक फ़ोन होता था. पाकिस्तान में इतनी देर लगती थी फ़ोन लगने में, I'm talking about 80s and 90s के वो people never got around to it, but everyone got a mobile phone, so which is far more advanced than a old phone. So in that way, it kind of skipped the whole generation of this, and you just go straight from nothing to a very advanced thing called a cell phone, right? As a mobile phone. So similarly, in the age of AI, it is possible which I think is going to happen, कि काफ़ी सारी digitalization नहीं हुई और आपने from totally paper to a very AI driven thing, and you just bypassed a lot of that digitalization. That I think is a very real thing that's happening, and I can see कि someone was telling me कि भाई उनकी गाड़ी ख़राब हो गई थी, तो उनका जो driver है, he is not a mechanic or something, he is not literate, वो चैट जीपीटी से वो बात कर रहा था, वॉइस कमांड पूछता था कि अब मैं क्या करूँ, गाड़ी की तस्वीर है तो अब मैं ये गाड़ी कैसे ठीक करूँ या इसका जो मसला है वो कैसे ठीक करूँ. चैट जीपीटी वाज टेलिंग हिम यार ये करना है. सो इट्स लाइक you bypass the whole concept of literacy, you can bypass the whole concept of learning to be a mechanic, and then you are suddenly doing things that are way above your capability. So that to me is a cool story. I'm not sure how effective it was in that particular case. He claimed it was very effective, but I can see that happening. So that's how I kind of want to think about it. Or regarding augmented reality, dekhen, that's very much part of AI. It's sitting on top of AI. So it will allow you to solve problems. Let's say you have augmented reality, and the same driver can look at that. And he just, instead of asking the questions, he is actually pointing the camera, and it will say, it could put another layer and say, okay, this is what it should look like, or something like that. So that is very much part and parcel of the game. So yeah. Thanks.
I have one question. I'm here. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Dara Shiko. I'm the CEO founder of the company called The Voice Lab. मेरे सवाल के दो रुख हैं. पहला सवाल ये है, Socrates was killed back in the ancient times because he made people inquisitive. He made them think, he made them raise questions. As a result of that, he was killed. It took us centuries to start to develop that inquisitiveness in mind. Now, you being the ambassador and the specialist in the field of AI, do you think it has pushed us to the limits where we are now very lazy to think and just putting everything on AI? That's the first thing. Second thing, what would happen 50 years down the line that we are totally relied on everything that AI is doing? Now, having said that, 50 years down the line, probably you wouldn't be standing here. It would be just in a robot that's presenting the entire thing. So the humanistic element would be taken away, and the humanity would eventually vanish. What do you have to say about that?
Those are again that kind of questions. Those are very hard to answer questions. But I'll tell you something. There was a time. I think there was a time when people used to do multiplications in their head, and there was a time when people got these log books or slide rules, and then eventually calculators. And when calculators came out, you could say that, yaar, you've become very lazy, कि तुम दिमाग में you can't even multiply 25 times 25, or तुम जाके you have to type it in, and what the hell is, why are you so and in reality it didn't make us that much more stupid. Just because we had a calculator, we still were able to function otherwise. So that would be one pushback I have, but I think your point is very valid. I can give you the example of my younger son. He was used to do what is called competitive programming. You get a very short amount of time, you have to write a very relatively complex program and do it in 20 minutes, and it's graded online, and it's like a thing like horror. 3 times a week, so he was really into that, and that was about 3 years ago. And then suddenly the AI could write the code itself, and he immediately lost all interest in programming. And I asked him why, and he said, well, there is 2 reasons. Ek to ye ke I like the competitiveness of it, so I have only 2 choices. Either I cheat by taking the program and doing it myself, giving it to the machine and just copy pasting the solution. That's one possibility, and I know it's not going to be any fun, like I'm doing it for fun and there is no. And the other possibility is that I do it the way I do it and I discipline myself to not cheat, but then everyone else is cheating, so then I don't get to, there's no way I can win. So what's the point in doing it? So yeah, that's a great point. I mean, I can see, I mean, I can go on and on. In my own company, there are examples of people who, I, by the way, don't discourage anyone from using AI to write software. I encourage it because it is more productive, but as long as they can ride the tiger and tame the beast, so to speak. कि होता ही है कि वो लिखते हैं और वो AI कुछ करती है, फिर वो कुछ और लिखते हैं, तो AI goes in a completely different direction, and it's not productive at all. So I think at least AI is not nearly close to there. Like I said, I had to do this presentation myself. I didn't say, oh, I'm going to map tomorrow, just make a presentation for me, here's my life story. I can't do that. I really have to put in the time. It did save me a lot of time. So one answer, I don't know 50 years from now, I don't know the answer to that, but at this point in time, I would say without AI, there's no way you can win. But with only AI, there's no way you can win. It's only you plus AI that can win. That is my, I guess, my right answer. Yeah, good.
Thank you so very much, sir. Please stay on stage, sir, with us. Thank you. First of all, I must say that you have finished your presentation on time. Thank you so much. And secondly, that was a fascinating and the forward-thinking session, a perfect opening to our theme of digital transformation. So to present souvenir, I will request Tariq Asmat Sahab and Dr. Shahid, please come on the stage and to present a token of appreciation.